Okay, we're back. Day 3 of the factory, baby. Third shift of the of the week. I had made a video yesterday that I didn't really like too much because of what I've done today in the factory. I wanted to talk about. I think I've managed to get full efficient use of the stuff we have, the materials, but there might be some room for optimization. I'm still not sure, but I saw a few YouTube videos, and they didn't talk about this stuff, so I wanted to put this out there for people who may use it or need it or want it. So let's talk about it. First things, let's take a look at the AIC report of what is actually being produced. So I had some sand powder issues going on, so disregard that. But right now, we should have a surplus of 20 Xiranite being made. Heavy Xiranite, I am now making components, but you'll get 6 or 3. If you're making components, you only get 3. 1 Yazhen Syringe, 3 Syringe A's, 1 Yazhen Syringe C, I'm sorry. 3 Syringe A's, about 1.7 LC Wuling batteries. We are not using AIC Valley batteries anymore. This is a big change I found. 12 Wuling batteries with 2 being used. If you use DIG, you can get that down to 2 instead of 3. I think it's actually like 1.5 instead of 3. Hedonite parts, you only get 3, but the gearing component, right? So, and the components, I have 2. I think this is end up being 3. I think there's something going on. I haven't gone to look at it. I've just started it. So that's kind of what we should be looking at as our output products, right? Because I was looking at the regional development in our outpost. And so this main outpost, the first one we're in, our Sky King Flats, right? It can take all this stuff. It can take parts, but you don't want to put that. It can only take, it's the only one that can take the Wuling batteries. So this is where you want your batteries to go, or I want my batteries to go at least. And then this cardiac remediation station, it can only take the heavy Xiranite, Yazhen A, Xiranite, and LC. But we're not planning to use these LC Wuling batteries. They come in too slow. But we're planning on using these 3 to make money here. And it only gets 3,900 an hour. Like, it's pretty slow. Like, this one gets 36,000 an hour, right? So, with a cap of, what is that, 2.6 million? I think this one's cap is way lower. Yeah, 280,000. So, it's going to take a while to get this bad boy up. So, those are the products I wanted to get and use. So, with that in mind, I've set up a couple things here in Jingyu. I try to solve the sand leaf issue and not have a full 30. The awesome post on Reddit, I'm gonna shout this out. There's an awesome post on Reddit that helped me with this. It's this one. I can put a link in the description actually. This is such a cool setup of you can make a 30-minute belt, 25-minute belt, 20-minute belt, 15, and 5. Really cool, really cool. I like this a lot. So I use that to help change this stuff around and not use all the sand leaf. But this really comes in handy later. You'll see later. What I really want to show over here is the battery. This comes in handy here at this battery, right? So it doesn't matter if this dense iridium runs out, but I didn't want it to run out because it's going to make the same amount anyway. The Xiranite gets stuck here. It gets clogged because it needs 5 Xiranite at 15, right? So it gets clogged eventually. So if you let this run out, because this is the meta storage, right, that we were using to make AIC Valley batteries, it'll just replenish and keep going. Like, there's nothing else tied to this, so it doesn't matter. It's not going to stop anything. When the Xiranite clogs to be full, you just sell it to the post. Like, it doesn't actually matter. It's not going to stop anything because it's extra Xiranite. Get your DIG. You can DIG this battery, the SC battery, so that it doesn't use it at full. And I only have 4.5 thousand power, so it's not a lot that needs to be powered up. This is where I would do cuprium gearing if I needed to. I'm probably going to try and figure out how to put this somewhere else. I'm sorry, Xiranite gearing. It's a simple setup, but it's turned off for now. I don't need it. So, the real meat of this, let's get into the marker stone. I'll timestamp this too, so people don't have to look at what's going on in Jingyu. So, oh, that's a cool little intro. So this is all the new stuff is here. Okay, so What I want to talk about here is less about this whole base setup and how the things are connected, insofar, wow, that you can end up using a lot of your products again with minimal headache. I didn't use the piss again though. I let that just, that's going over here because I wanted to use this fluid supply unit. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let me go to mouse and keyboard. I build an overhead mouse and keyboard. All right, so I'm gonna start here at this Yazhen A area. We have our water down here. We have a precipitation rain, which I don't know what I just didn't call it acid rain. I need to take that thing down. But over here we have our simple double cuprium, right? Double cuprium setup. Bringing in Yazhen. I'll talk about this Yazhen later. Simple. Water's coming in, sewage is going out. This sewage is going into our Xiranite. I call this the green or the Xiranite section of reactors. This is the blood section, but it's really cuprium section, but whatever. I'm not going to talk about this yet. I'll come back to this. But all this works together. Oh, I'm sorry, this is where your sewage comes in. You'll need two. So the two sewage is coming in from down here, right? Inert Xircon is coming out in S4, going in, giving me Xircon and clean water. This clean water is coming back down to here, into here, to supply this. It supplies it at a nice rate to make this. Alright, so that's what's going on down here, or over here. Let's talk about these reactors, actually. Let's talk about what's going on in this side of the Xiranite side of the reactors. Wait, hold on, let me get this off the screen. I didn't realize that was there, I'm sorry. So these crucibles are really cool. I did the tutorial, which I mistakenly thought was a special program, but I did watch that like 4 times in this section. But the tutorials, the simulations, I've done them all. I like, you know, people have on their profile, they have their like they have their fancy clears, right? They have all their fancy clears from like doing it in 2 minutes. You know what mine is? Doing the simulations. That's the real flex, baby. No, it's not. I have it there though. I think that's like that's my flex, is I've done the simulations. But anyway, simulation was very helpful. The main thing is that this thing reacts, and there's a Reddit post about this. I read through the discussion, but I don't remember if it was like resolved. But anyway, the simulation talked about how these things react with what's inside of them. Okay, it'll react with what's inside before it passes it on. I think that's what the Reddit thread ended up kind of figuring out. With that said, I wanted to use that going forward because we have 8 slots, and I was like, man, this 8 slots is kind of wild. Can't you like make more than one product in here? Yes, you can. So what I have set up is Xiranite coming out, Ferium coming out, because we're gonna make Xircon up here. And we're going to make liquid Xiranite, and we're going to make Xircon effluents, and we're going to make Xircon. Like, I was like, there's no way this works, but it does. So this first set, you have Xiranite coming in, Xiranite going out. You need sewage coming in though, so that's what's happening here. And then you have your Xircon effluent and inert Xircon effluent. Now, inert Xircon is going out and up to your purification unit to get you another set of Xircon effluent or another output to go into your Forge of the Sky, right? Because you can make 2 more. You get 2 Xiranite outputs, and you have it with the Xircon. The other Xircon from the actual crucible is going up into your tier 2 crucibles that are making a ton of stuff. Now, this thing has a lot going on. Every slot is filled. Oh, like the devs are so cool, man. They knew we were going to figure this out. So what's going on here is that the ultimate goal is to make Xircon, right? So if the ultimate goal is to make Xircon, you actually can consolidate those middle reactors into this guy. And you put half of one in here, and one in here, and one in this bottom one. So we need 2 Xircon and Ferium powder to make, Xircon effluent, 2 Xircon effluent, 1 Ferium powder to make Xircon and sewage, right? So the sewage will react with itself. So let me back up. This is how this works, okay? So cool. We're bringing in clean water. We're bringing in Xircon. We make liquid Xiranite, right? Because this bottom one is already working, we have Zircon effluent coming in, and we have Ferium powder coming in right here, right? The Ferium is coming in. That's all you need to get started, actually. The Zircon will eventually react and make your Zircon effluent will eventually react with your Ferium powder, which will make Zircon and give you the one sewage you need, right? Once that sewage hits, it combines with the liquid Xiranite to make another Zircon effluent and inert. Once you get this one sewage, it becomes self-sustaining in terms of making Zircon effluent. You don't even need to bring in sewage from somewhere else to jumpstart it. I thought I would need to kickstart it, but you don't need to. So once you have that going, it'll start kind of producing on its own. Everything is kind of full because I ran out of power earlier. But most of this won't actually like get too full. Maybe the offline belt problem will, but like whatever, right? So you run your inert out, and that contributes to your purification. And you need to bring in that first Zircon, right? That first Zircon is still coming in. And now it's making its own. That gives you the 2 you need to work at 100% efficiency to make Zircon out, to keep making 12 batteries a minute. This is stuff I've seen other people already do. And when I say other people, just a few YouTubers I've seen, like 3. They've already done this part. Now, the part that I think they didn't, well, I think actually they may not have figured all this out, but whatever. They probably did. I'm sorry, but over here we have blood. I just call this blood. Like, it should be called, I call it cuprium now instead of copium, but like the cuprium, it just looks like blood, and I love the way it looks. Okay, so what's going on here is I changed these Reactor Crucibles down because they're only doing 3. I originally had them as expanded, and I was going to keep them, but there's 100. It's 100 power use, so I need to get that power down, so it's only 50. Okay, so I use the pass-through technology again, the tech, and we're bringing in our precipitation rain or acid rain from outside, right? This is the pump. You need 2 pumps because you got 4 reactors. They each need to make blood. Because I looked at this thing and I was like, oh, we can get 4 cuprium. We need 4 to get 1 hedonite working at, you know, 100%, right? So that was the goal. That's kind of where I started and worked backwards from. We have our cuprium setup, right? This sewage, you can't really use it anywhere. If there is, I couldn't figure out where. So I just waste treatment. Just don't even worry about it. But each one of these is doing something different, actually. So this is the simplest one. Actually, I think both of these bottom ones are simple. Yeah, never mind. These bottom 2 are doing the same thing. These top 2 are doing 2 different things. So this one is just passing along its precipitation acid, its acid rain to this guy. I didn't want to run the pipe again and try and do like a 2 splits, whatever. And then it's passing its blood along as well. This guy is then receiving blood and receiving precipitation acid, and then it's also sending along its blood. It's actually getting blood from up here too. So 2 cuprium solution. I'm gonna stop calling it blood. 2 cuprium solution is coming down and going in. So 1, 2. Combines 3, goes up and in. That's 3. This one that's coming out here, that's 4. So that gives us our 4 that's coming in to make this every 2 seconds, right? We pass along the powder that helps this make its cuprium. All right, so let's talk about these top 2 because these are the 2 that like have a lot going on. So we'll start here. The goal was to make pure blood or hedonite solution, right? So with that in mind, we get the 4, we get the hedonite back in, and to make hedonite, we need 2 hedonite and 1 ferium, but we cannot get 2 hedonite yet. It's impossible. You can't do it right now. That's why we are making hedonite parts so slowly, is because we can only get 1 of these purification. But I know next patch, when they said, I think they said next patch when test area comes out, we'll get 12 Forge of the Skies, which means we'll be able to make 2 more, another one. Probably just 1 more, I'm thinking, of these. So I'll need to probably move this Yazhen down. But anyway, so we have our Ferium coming in. Now this Ferium is only working at 15. Keep that in mind. This is at 15 a minute. We're going to come back to this. But Hedonite is in here, and this is how you end up getting your sewage and stuff. It makes sewage, but it's making it like really slow. It's like 15, right? So instead of trying to figure out where this goes, a half sewage, no, just waste treatment facility. That's where I put it. It's not a big deal. Then we have our Hedonite itself is being made in here, and it's coming out and going up and in, right? So this was kind of cool. On top of that, so you can get a couple reactions going on in here, right? It's seven slots are used up to make all of this, which is really cool. Next thing is this crucible. All right, so I was like, I was messing around down here, and I was like, man, I had this depot bus section was further over. I was like, man, I'll just make the Yazhen somewhere else and bring it up. I was gonna have it like up here in this corner, but then I was like, hey, wait a second. If this thing can make Hedonite, like, can't I make, and it can do this, right? It can have 8 things going on. Can't I just make the Yazhen in here and then, like, just ship it out? Yes, I really was trying to do the clean water right here, running it all the way over and out, combined with Yazhen in and this precipitation acid runoff also in, and then have it come down out of this guy and use a control port and splitter to have it go different ways. It doesn't work. Don't try it. it doesn't work right. If it was making it all very slowly, it would work, but it's not. Like, see how this one is like runs out eventually? If it was doing that, then I'd be able to do it, but not this. So anyway, so yeah, you can make Yazhen in here. You can make a full Yazhen solution. And so I just conduit, I think it's this guy. This guy is just going down to here. So that's one of my Yazhen A's. So I was looking at the AIC report, and I was like, man, I have, I was actually using like what? I think 75, I had 90 yield, but 75 usage, right? Because I stopped making the, ouch, the AIC Valley batteries. And I was like, man, it's 15, but like then I also have this extra Xiranite. Like, what does Xiranite make? And then, like, what does Ferium make, right? Like, what can I make with this? Well, that's where I got the LC battery is from the Xiranite. But from the Ferium, I was like, hey, wait, can I make, like, a Yazhen C? Yeah, you can, actually. Right here. So that's what this little setup is. It's making it really slowly, though. But I had to use this setup because I don't want the Ferium to ever run out, right? I don't want this Ferium to run out because these need to operate at 100% efficiency all the time. This one doesn't. So back to this Reddit post, if I had 15 Ferium I needed, that's all I needed was 15 Ferium or a minute. So I ended up making that. I replicated that one here. And this prevents it from ever drying up, right? It just, I'd never run out. And I can make this really slowly. This Yazhen being made here also does not, like this clogging does not interfere with the rest of what's going on in this crucible. That's why I'll probably have to move it down to this expanded crucible later. I mean, I could probably do it now, but whatever. When the next patch comes, because this guy will need to be a similar setup to here. But I don't know, if I need 4 again, right? You need 4. We'll probably have to make 2 more reactors, I believe. 2 more reactors, probably. Well, probably 4 more reactors, actually, because like each reactor needs to make one. So we'll need 4 more reactors. But I think those 4 reactors will go in the middle here. I think they'll go in the middle to make, like, some of it will make Xircon. And then, like, some of it will make other stuff. I don't know how, I don't know. We'll see when we get there. I'm not worried about that. So anyway. So that's what I ended up making. That's what I think that's using full product now. That's full resource usage. I wanted to put this out. I think this one is shorter than the last one. But I wanted to put this out and let people see it and hope it eases some people's pains of like, how much can I make? What should I be making? Stuff like that. So I think all my stuff is balanced now. Yeah, and for the most part, I think there's something weird going on with my sand leaf because it needs to fill back up the powder, so don't worry about this. This should end up flipping to like a 10 surplus, I believe, when this clogs up eventually. So, but that's what it should look like. You should get something like this, I think. My Xiranite's a little jacked up. What's going on with my Xiranite? I'll figure that out. You guys don't worry about that. But that's all I'll do. All I want to make a video about. So, I'm out.